To Bosnia now, where the small Balkan country is struggling to contain an escalating migrant crisis. Over 23,000 migrants from various regions like the Middle East and South Asia are stranded in the country.
Some are trying to cross into Croatia, a European Union nation, but since neighboring countries like Hungary and Serbia have closed their borders to migrants, most end up trapped in Bosnia. CBSN contributor Alex Kliment is here to walk us through the latest. He writes for Signal, a newsletter produced by GZero Media. Good to see you, Alex.
Likewise.
So less than 1,000 migrants entered Bosnia last year. Now the country is seeing 23,000. The Syrian civil war and other things that have been happening in the region have been going on for quite some time. What's happening now?
So it used to be that migrants who were trying to enter Europe via the so-called Balkan route would go first to Serbia and then across into Hungary or into Croatia from there. In 2015-2016, the Hungarians and the Croatians essentially sealed their borders with Serbia, which has diverted that flow of refugees into Bosnia. So they go into Bosnia now and they're trying to cross into Croatia from there. Of course, Croatia is part of the EU. Neither Bosnia nor Serbia are parts of the EU. The migrants themselves say that as they try to cross into Croatia, Croatian border guards are not allowing them to apply for asylum, and in some cases there are questions of whether they've abused people trying to cross the border. So it's really a terrible situation for the migrants. Bear in mind also for Bosnia, I mean, this is one of the poorest countries in Europe. We talk a lot about how dealing with refugee flows is a challenge even for wealthy countries, even for politically stable countries. Bosnia is one of the poorest countries in Europe. There's aid from the EU and from Turkey coming to help out with this situation of these thousands of refugees stranded there, but the UN is warning that as winter approaches, without more help, this could turn into a humanitarian crisis.
It's also, it has a unique political system. It has its own ethnic divisions. How is this exacerbating that? Now you have a whole other, well, several other ethnic groups, you know, sort of entering the country.
Well, Bosnia is quite literally split politically between a federation of Bosnians and Croats and a Serb republic that is within Bosnia. It's fairly complicated, but this is the legacy of the Yugoslav civil wars of the 1990s. The refugee question isn't directly affecting that politics, except to say that it is already a very precarious situation politically within Bosnia, and the added pressure at the local level of dealing with migrants could exacerbate that. Bear in mind also, Bosnia is a country that produced more than 500,000 of its own refugees just a generation ago, right? So at the local level, people have been trying to be very helpful as much as they can. They remember their legacy,
sure.
But the capacity is getting strained, and as I said, the UN is warning that this could turn into a humanitarian crisis.